good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly radio show called Encouragement for Your Life. Many of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and a coach, and I help people find their voice and learn to use it for their success. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. If you're a part of an association that has a national conference and you need a speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I've got a number of books on the market. Just go to Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, and all my books will appear. My books, Speak Without Fear and Perfecting Your Platform, are also on Audible, so you can listen to them as you're driving around. Okay, friend, I've got a message today that I think is important as we come into February, and my theme for today is, Can I Get a Yes? Hang on, I'll be right back, and let's begin with today's show. Welcome to February. I can't believe how quickly this year is already getting underway. And with that in mind, I decided I would revisit a talk I had done a while back called, Hey Friends, Can I Get a Yes? And the reason is, I think 2023, as hard as it is going to be, and I believe it will, just my personal opinion, I think you and I can move forward. So my idea for this month is, friend, let's focus on saying yes. Say yes to opportunities that come along, however big or small. Let's try it for just 1 month of February, and let's see what happens, because I believe that once you get used to saying yes to great opportunities, I believe they're going to start showing up in your amazing life. See, once you get used to saying yes, you'll start seeing more ways to say yes. There's something freeing about saying yes to opportunity, because you never know when that yes will open another door. And that door may lead to the door you've been waiting for to swing open in your favor and direction. Now, I have to admit, I am well known for saying no to a lot of things that are routine, but that's not what I'm talking about today. I will always encourage you to say no, a hard no, to drudgery work that will not enhance your resume or your standing. I will always say no to being busy for busyness sake, so you look important. I will always say no to people who call me up or write me a note and say, Hey, Deb, I just want to, quote, pick your brain. Okay, I don't have time for that. And I think it's insulting when someone has done this for years and somebody wants the easy way. Just my 2 cents, my show, my 2 cents. All right. I will also say no to meetings about meetings. Come on, you do it all the time. All right, so hear me when I say that you, dear listener, should say no to anything that is not good for you or your family or your bottom line. I believe that life is a business that you need to pay attention to and focus on the future. But here's where it gets tricky. You and I have to be smart enough to know when to say yes and to what we say yes to. I've come up with a simple list to make it easy for you, my friends. So here's where we are. This year, say yes to opportunities. Say yes to decisions that will open doors. Say yes to forgiveness and love. Say yes to faith and family. And say yes to the acknowledgement of your dreams. Let's start with say yes to opportunities. Anything that will allow you to grow. I believe sometimes the truth is sometimes we really don't want to grow. We say we do, but inside we're pretty happy enough. And growth is hard. And for some, they're fine to go through life and not grow through life. But that's not you, dear listener. That's for other slacker people. Let's get going to growing in your life through wise opportunities that you find and take advantage of. Remember, this month, we're focusing on saying yes to any opportunity that comes along, however big or small. I'm not sure what your new yes will be to. Perhaps it's taking a night class, or finding a wholesome hobby, or taking the time to read a book about how to market your business or put your ideas into action. Maybe you'll attend a luncheon that you normally would prefer not to attend, or go with your spouse or friend to an event you're invited to. Because you never know who you'll run into and who may be able to help you down the road. What's interesting is I have found that our friends sometimes just need to be reminded that we're active in their network. I believe you and I should say yes to decisions that will open doors today and tomorrow. Not knowing what is behind a door usually has an element of fear. But for your success, friends, you've got to start opening doors. Your opportunity is something that you will discover by opening a lot of stuck doors. So don't shortchange yourself when it comes to rattling the door handle to find the right door for your future. Seriously, what's the worst thing that can happen? You open a door to an opportunity you don't want? Fine. Close the door, try the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until you open the right door at the right time for your future. I don't know what doors you need to open or close, but you do. You know what your heart's desire is to build your future. And the reason some of you are having a hard time figuring it out is because you've not opened enough doors to find the right one to lead you to your opportunity. Friends, keep knocking. Keep knocking. The right door will open at the right time. Have to admit, I've seen it in my own life and in the lives of my clients and friends. I understand that it gets hard and it's tiring to keep knocking on a door, especially when you get an answer of no, not now, maybe later, or perhaps not ever. But I don't know what other choice we have if we're going to move in the direction of our dreams than to keep knocking on doors. So keep knocking and then opening and then taking a chance to say yes to decisions that perhaps will open doors today and tomorrow or down the road for your amazing future. All right, here I go again. I get it. Friends, say yes to forgiveness and love. Can I get a yes to forgiveness and love? I know you're tired of me giving you the same broken record about forgiving others to get on with your amazing life. Listen, leave the old broken you and the broken places behind. Get going. And if you've gone through hard times in your life, in your love, in your marriage, please hear me. Hit the reset button and try again. I didn't say start over, because that's not feasible for many, but you can reset your relationship and commit to the best of your ability to be open and honest in your feelings and needs. So that saying yes is probably a little bit easier next time, and you won't be as afraid to acknowledge the feeling of love and forgiveness. And remember, forgiveness does not excuse their bad behavior. It simply frees your heart from the hurt and anger that they caused. Have to admit, from the outside, I am constantly amazed when couples break up and I say, well, what happened? And they say things like, they didn't meet my needs. And then I have to ask, well, did you tell them what you needed? And they look at me like I have two heads and say, no, they should know. Wow, I didn't know they were mind readers. I hear it from bosses and employees and friends and neighbors, married, single, divorced, and they all say, no, I didn't tell them anything. They should have just known. To which my simple mind says, really? How can that be? And then I wonder, why didn't you just say what you needed? No one can read your mind. And please don't tell me you were afraid. Hey, you spoke up at one point in your life. What happened? Did you forget how to speak? Come on. Speak up and be kind enough, bold enough, strong enough to give someone a chance to change and treat you the way you want to be treated and how you deserve to be treated. And that is with excellence and love. Friends, many times you have to ask or tell or explain to others what you need to make things better. Because if you don't work to make things better, I find that over time you will become bitter. And we could have solved this little problem because it always starts out small before it gets way too big to deal with if you, yes you, could have just taken a yes to forgiveness and love. Okay, my next point is say yes to faith and family. I'm not sure what you believe, But I would ask that you consider the world around you and then think about how it came to be, and then allow your mind to see the amazing complexity of our world that is, and then go ahead and marvel at that. Within the complexity of it all, there is a perfect order to things. And then I want you to look above yourself from a bird's eye view at your amazing life. And I'm going to ask that you stop and think and consider being grateful for your time and place on this amazing planet that is spinning in orbit within the wonder of the universe. I've moved to a place that doesn't seem to have the light pollution that my other home had. And now from my front yard, I can look up and I can see the stars. I can see the planets so clearly. And honestly, it takes my breath away. Recently, I read a great book about the sun, so I'm much more aware about the sky these days than usual. When I ask you to say yes to faith and family, I also want to ask that you slow down and realize it won't be much longer and your world will change. Family and friends come and go, and life changes in an instant. So take time to simply be. Be with your friends and family without your cell phone and enjoy your time together. For goodness sakes, my friends, hear me when I encourage you to be with your aging parents. And I'll add to that the crazy siblings you can't believe you're still related to. And perhaps the rest with your kids while you can before they leave. And then, of course, with your life's partner while you're able. While you are able. It's been said that no one on their deathbed ever wished that they had more time to work at the office. I know you've heard that 100 times. No, you know what they wish for? Over and over, every survey. I wish I had time for family, friends. So I'm going to ask this new month, as you're in this new year, consider saying yes to family, even the crazy ones. I want to encourage you to say yes to the acknowledgement of your dreams. I'm not one to push you to tell others about your hopes and dreams. I wish you would, though, because many times that keeps you focused when others are there to encourage you. But I know it can be intimidating if you don't hit your mark. Please know that those who love you will not waste time judging you. Goodness, nobody has time for that. Those who love you and want to see you succeed, they'll spend their time lifting you up and encouraging you to be your very best. And you know Deb's rule, if your friends aren't doing that, you need new friends. So walk away and find those who really care about you and your future. Understand that just the act of acknowledging that you've thought about your next steps is freeing to your mind. Here's why. Your mind seeks order. And when you can map out a plan for success, I believe you have a much better opportunity to reach your goal than if you just keep it inside. Remember a couple minutes ago when I asked you to think about all the doors you have knocked on, all the doors you will knock on, the handles you will open and push into? One day, one of those doors will open because you did the hard work and you found your place and you found the right spot. I know I talked some about writing down your goals on a piece of paper and keeping it in a safe place that you can reach for when you're tired, when you're discouraged, and when things seem to be going off base. I'm a firm believer that you and I need to hold something in our hand that says success, strength, journey, peace, hope, and I'm going to add love. Now you can write that on your iPad, but it doesn't seem to have the same sensation of seeing it on paper. That new journal you got for the holidays, go ahead, turn to the back page, write out your hopes, your dreams, and let's see if they come true this year. I believe they will if they're written down. Now, for some of you, that's a lot of homework. And for others, it's like 1 or 2 words. But friend, you're worth it. And for that small bit of homework you do, I believe you will create your best life ever. In this year, in this new month, in this new opportunity. Because I want you to focus now on saying yes to an opportunity that comes along, however big or small. Because once you get used to saying yes, I believe great opportunities will start to show up in your amazing life. I can tell you, as a friend and a coach, I am convinced that once you get used to seeing yes, you'll start saying yes. So I gotta ask, friend, can I get a yes for your amazing life? I certainly hope so. I'm Deb Sofield. This is Encouragement for Your Life. Stay tuned. I'm going to come right back after the break. Hi, I'm Deb Sofield. If you've ever needed help crafting a presentation for your job or your company, I can help. In today's world, you know how important it is to be able to speak and present well. I'm a national speaker and an executive speech and corporate presentations coach. I can help you craft your message for your success. I'd like to be on your team. I'd like to be your coach. Contact me through my website, debsofield.com. Welcome back, everybody. I found a great article from Susie Moore on reasons to say yes to opportunity. So my theme today is, can I get a yes? And I hope so, because I believe your life has wonderful opportunity if you will step out. Some of you on faith and some of you on hard work. All right, here's the article. I love this first quote by Richard Branson. If someone offers you an amazing opportunity to do something and you're not sure you can do it, say yes. Then learn how to do it later. Yes has a magic within it. You know, we're so afraid of life. We fear failure, we anticipate the worst, and we just don't know what to expect. In doing so, and often by saying no to opportunities, I believe we reject many of life's brilliant chances. These are often disguised as a new career prospect or an opportunity to step up at work, a surprise request from a friend, or any type of unfamiliar challenge. Anything that creates a spark of curiosity within us or generates some desire that typically lays dormant within our familiar days is often our intuition guiding us to say yes, or at least learn a little bit more. I worry that we let our fears instead of our creativity and love guide us and rationalize so many times the word no. I've seen it. You have too. Typically, people who say no to opportunity love to convince you, or themselves, why it was right for a list of reasons. I'm not here to say yes can often be right. I believe deep down you will know when it is for you. But by saying yes, I think we need to say no to other things. This is not about being a yes person or feeling pressured to do things that you don't want to do. It's about having the courage and conviction to do the things you know you really want to do, so much so that it might scare you. So, here are a few reasons on why you should say yes to an opportunity in your life. You will block a miracle if you don't. Wow, that's quite a statement. Opportunity sometimes knocks gently and does not wait for perfect timing. The truth is, there is no perfect timing. Some of you need to start before you're ready. You need to trust that the universe has a big plan for you, one that can only be understood with hindsight. When you say no, you reject more than opportunity. You reject the fun it could bring, what it teaches you, and the further gifts that can unfold if we don't allow the initial yes. The second point is, there is an infinite number of reasons to say no. Something is stirring the yes within you. For something to be a question mark, a very considered decision, something, often deep inside us, is saying yes. A no should be clear and obvious. So please pay attention to that little cheerleader for yes for a while. Listen what it has to tell you, because it's often correct. Someone believes in you. Someone believes you can. You have an opportunity to say yes. Someone or something believes you can do big things. North Face, the clothing company, is probably not going to sponsor you to climb Mount Everest in their clothing if it is wildly out of the question if you're capable. Take the compliment. It was an amazing opportunity. And then harness the confidence other people have in you. Well, here's the truth. Yes leads to more doors. No often closes a door. The author says, when my husband was asked to transfer to New York City at age 23, many people thought it was too soon and it wasn't a good idea. The author says, we're in our 6th year here, and we agree most every day. It's the best thing we've ever done. The subsequent opportunities it has provided for us have been abundant and humbling. I love our next point. Opportunity does not always arise again, or at least the same one. Life and luck favor the bold. Sometimes, when making a decision and considering both outcomes, the no outcome is connected to regret so many times. And regret is really the biggest risk of all. I love our next point. Life is richer and fuller and more vibrant when we say yes. We do more, create more, and live more. Yes attracts positivity. The word itself is inviting and empowering. It's like saying, "World, I've got this." Friends, say yes. You also should consider saying the word yes to opportunity to stretch yourself. Why are we all here if not to live the highest, fullest version of our lives? See, by saying yes, I believe that we invite possibility into our lives and the ability to learn what we are capable of and really how far we can go. The final point is the one that probably hits home the most. Our friend, life is short. Ask not why, but why not? The author says one of my favorite quotes for Steve Jobs is, "Remembering that I'll be dead soon is perhaps the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life." A little perspective to help us abandon our fears. There was an article I found called "Reasons Why You Should Say Yes to Opportunity" by Susie Moore. You know, I love quotes. I've got a couple here I'd like to share. Irma Bombeck, oh my goodness, she's got so many great ones. But here's one I love. There are people who put their dreams in a box and say, "Yes, I got dreams. Of course I've got dreams." And then they put them in a box away and bring it out once in a while, look at it, and yep, they're still there. These are great dreams, but they never get out of the box. It takes an uncommon amount of guts to put your dreams on the line, hold them up and say, "How good or bad am I?" That's when courage comes in. As I close out today's show, let me touch on a wonderful article by Elise Stevens, and the title is "The Importance of Saying Yes to New Opportunities." If a window of opportunity appears, don't pull down the shade. She said, I love this quote by Tom Peters because it's a great reminder to be aware of our actions when opportunities come knocking in our lives. We're creatures of habit and often find comfort in keeping things exactly as they are. This helps us cope with the juggle of what we already have before us. Our friend, you may be comfortable, but you will never, ever grow in your career or as a person unless you seek new opportunity. Every day brings fresh ideas, exciting challenges, and fabulous new beginnings if you'll open yourself up to them. She says, I confess I've had opportunities present themselves to me in the past, and out of fear of change, I found an excuse to tell myself that opportunity wasn't for me. It's not the right time. I'm too busy. You know the ones. She said, as I became aware of this habit of mine to turn down and miss out on great things, I made a conscious decision to say yes more often. When you say yes to a new opportunity, you are empowering yourself. When you're telling yourself that you believe in your skills and your passion, techniques, and abilities, a friend, light that fire, and you will be amazed at how far the light travels. The flow on effect of new connections, skills, and experiences that you will create from saying yes to something new that will fill you with confidence and open doors that you never knew existed. Boy, I think she nailed that well. And I have to say, how do you take advantage? You've got to be open. Mindset is such an important thing. We get so caught up in our lives, and it's a very common habit. But we can still be open to opportunities and challenge ourselves. Hey friend, if there's something you've wanted to do, give it a go. You are solely responsible for your own happiness. Make that decision to be more open to opportunity and change. Better to have tried something out and learned from it than to never do anything different in life. Her next point is say yes. Friends, say yes to things in a great way to take advantage of opportunities that are available. Give it a try. Say yes. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Perfection does not exist. There's no time like the present. Be bold. Too much delay may allow an opportunity to slip away from you. You know enough. You can do it. Commit to it. Do it and see what unfolds. Dear listener, if you're looking for something different for yourself, the place to start working is on your yes mindset today. All right, I'm Deb Sofield. You've been listening to Encouragement for Your Life. Thanks for joining me this year. I hope to see you next week. Same time, same place. Have a good one, everybody.